Moni, oh Moni. Now get up and go, Lado. The sun has climbed on the head. How long will you sleep? This voice was of Moni's mother Sapna, who had been making voices for a long time to lift her daughter, but Moni was not taking the name of getting up. Then she sat up screaming. Hearing her screams, Sapna came running to her room. What happened, Lado? And then she said it again. Yes, Mama, the same dream. Sapna was immersed in thinking, but then calmly said, quickly freshen up, be fresh for you, your favorite rajma rice has been made. Moni went to the bathroom and Sapna was again immersed in deep thought. Sapna was a single mother, and after Avinash left her, she raised her alone. Sapna was a professor of science. Moni also took admission in her college this year. Moni herself was a science student. She wanted to become a doctor, so Sapna also accepted her and let her choose the subject with her wish. She was sitting silently when Moni came from behind and wrapped her around her neck. What happened, Mama? I don't want to go to college today. You're in a hurry every day than I am. And started looking at Sapna carefully. Sapna smiled normally and said, Lado should eat first. He was afraid that Moni would not understand his problem. But thankfully, Moni didn't understand. After having food, both mother and daughter left for college after telling Manju the work. Today, the traffic on the crowded streets of Pune seemed too much to Sapna. At a signal, he stopped the car. Then a eunuch appeared on the window on Moni's side from nowhere. Before he could ask for anything, he was shocked with fear as soon as he saw Moni. When Sapna lowered the window mirror to give him some money, he was saying something. Hi, what is this bala roaming for, son? And without taking anything, he quickly disappeared as he had appeared. Sapna was now more worried about what the eunuch had just said. Maybe she knew what he was talking about. Moni was still in shock. Mama, he was calling me bull? No, Lado, where are you also paying attention? Such people say anything to earn money. The car had come to college, parked the car, and Sapna went to the staff room and Moni went to the classroom. Oh wow, Mama's Lado has come. Welcome Princess G. This voice was of Moni's best friend Pooja. Both of them had a lot of love. By the way, their entire group was Pooja, Soumya, Naman, Atul, and most importantly Rudra. Why was Rudra special now? That is because he was the top student of the entire college, the only child of a rich father, smart, and the biggest feature, he was simple and gentle even though he was so bad, neither arrogance of anything nor any bad habit. Overall he was like a godman. Moni liked him very much. Although Moni was very fun-loving and cheerful, but today the laughter of her beautiful innocent face was missing. She was still thinking about that eunuch. Then Rudra pinched in front of her face and said, Hey my princess, why is it 12 o'clock today? He used to call her princess. Then Soumya said that she seems to have fallen in love with someone and started laughing. Hey Soumya, don't say this, otherwise our Rudra will die of a heart attack right now. Pooja interrupted. Hearing this, everyone laughed together. Just then, Professor Saxena came to the classroom and everyone sat quietly on their seats. So students, today we will talk about an interesting topic. Who among you believes in the existence of vampires? All the students were surprised at what happened to Sir today to discuss such a topic. Well, half of the students raised their hands, including Pooja and Rudra. Moni was looking at Rudra sitting next to her in astonishment. As far as she knew, Rudra had never mentioned anything like this in front of her. So what do you know about this? The professor questioned. A student stood up and said, Sir, there are vampires in my village who have killed so many people by sucking their blood. Sir asked, No sir, my grandfather used to tell me that there are vampires. Then a student said, It is good that you did not see it, otherwise you would not be here now. Hearing this, everyone started laughing. Be silent, sir, said seriously. Rudra, tell me what you think. No one can be determined about the whereabouts of ghosts or spirits. but I have read that there are some places around the world where spirits and vampires find their abode. After a pause, Rudra said, "Many people have seen vampires in Highgate Cemetery in London. By the way, there has been only speculation about these vampires all over the world, but..." Then after a pause, Rudra said, "But many times in this cemetery, people have felt these death monsters. Many have seen those vampires drinking the blood of the dead." Hearing Rudra's words, everyone got goosebumps. Then a boy said, "Sir, if there are vampires, then they can be among us too?" "Yes, son, it can be you too," Atul said while making fun of him. Then everyone laughed loudly and the poor man sat in fear. Professor Sapna said, "Those who believe that if they want to come with me, they can come. I and my team are researching on this subject. There is a village 200 kilometers away from here, Kerthal, fictional, where there are traces of vampires. We will leave on March 12th. Any student who is interested can come and meet me." After saying this, the professor left. Everyone was sitting back in their group and talking about this new topic. Rudra was constantly watching Moni, who was still entangled in what Rudra said. The fearful Shiva. Moni said, "Do you really believe all these things?" Rudra smiled while looking into her innocent eyes. "Why are you afraid that I am not a vampire?" The fearful Shiva. Moni shook him and said, "Are you crazy? Don't do such things." "Yes, Rudra, even if you are a vampire, Moni will not stop loving you." Atul interrupted and laughed and Moni looked at him with devouring eyes. Atul shuddered for a moment. He did not find Moni's eyes normal. Then Pooja said, "Then what is the idea of guys? Go to see the vampires." "I and Moni are leaving," Rudra said, and I and Pooja also said Atul. But Soumya was still silent because Naman would never go. She knew because Naman was her brother and she knew what a timid person he was. "Why, Soumya?" Bowing down, "Are you walking?" Naman relatively replied, "No, never." Now Soumya's face dropped. She wanted to go. Rudra said, "No excuse, we are all leaving. That means we are leaving." No one dared to avoid Rudra's words. But will Rudra's family believe? Naman spoke softly. "Who will tell them why they are going? They will say that it is a college tour." "Oh, but on March 10th, it is your princess's birthday, Rudra. She will be 18, madam. Do you understand the meaning of adulthood? Do you not?" Pooja winked at Rudra and said. Moni put a loud doll on Pooja's back and said, "You have started speaking a lot. Pooja, you are nowadays." Then she blushed on her own. Everyone laughed together and Rudra was smiling at Moni very lovingly. Moni's house. Today, Sapna did not feel like doing any work. Moni put her arms around her neck and said, "Mama. Mama, what is the date today?" Sapna placed her hand affectionately on her head. "March 7th, Sapna answered. "And what is your birthday 2 days later, March 10th? Moni's birthday means that after 2 days, Moni will be 18 again." Frightened, he closed his eyes. "Have. Protect my baby girl." "What happened, Mama? You are not happy. I have grown up." "No, my Lado, it is not like that." Lovingly he patted Moni's cheeks. "You are growing up, but the childhood has not gone yet. Come on, go to sleep now." Jai Shri Krishna. Early in the morning, Manju knocked on the door. Sapna woke up sleepy and opened the door. "What's the matter? BBG is not feeling well? Did the baby dream that day again? You don't sleep that late." "Hey breath Manju," all the questions together. "I told you to meet Chennamma once, but where do you believe?" Manju was speaking without stopping. "Acha, Baba, let's just go today. Now I'm ready by the time I'm done quickly." Saying this, Sapna went to her room. When he got ready, he called out to Moni, "Lado, get up now." Rubbing her eyes, Moni came to Sapna's embrace. "Lado, freshen up and have breakfast. I am going out for some work with Manju." Sapna and Manju had reached a settlement. Sapna was feeling a little suffocated in that settlement. It was a very narrow road. Manju could see his face and understand the problem. Manju said, "Sorry, BBG, we poor people live like this." When she saw him, she became silent. After walking about 100 steps, Manju stopped in front of one's Kutcha house and started calling out, "Oh my. Aya Manju has brought your wife?" Sapna looks at Manju with astonishment. Manju just smiled proudly as if to say that she knew everything. Both of them were now inside the house. All around were glowing tridents, red bundles and lots of candles. Chenna Mamai in a black robe, with big eyes with deep wrinkles around them and thick mascara in those eyes. It looked like someone had painted black paint on the cracked wall. Thick white eyebrows and a large red vermilion dot between them, a lot of Rudraksh garlands around the neck and shining tridents hanging in them. Overall, she looked very scary, but there was a strange peace in the atmosphere that Sapna felt strongly. My motion for them to sit down, and they both sat down on the seat in front of them. Sapna opened her lips to say something, but Mai stopped her by raising her hand. "I know why you have come here." Sapna looked at Manju a little hesitantly, then Mai signaled Manju to go out. Manju immediately went out. "If you know everything, you know everything about my husband too." Mai nodded in agreement and said, "Don't worry, daughter, he is the keeper of the world, nor your Krishna Kanhaya. He has already sent the keeper of your daughter. Now listen to me carefully." Here outside, Manju was waiting eagerly. She was sorry that she was sent out and I could not know anything. After about 1 hour, Sapna came out. There was a relief on her face now, yet the danger was not over yet. Manju calls Rudra and Pooja to prepare for Moni's birthday. Today, March 10th in Pune. 5-star hotels. Rudra Sapna looked at Rudra affectionately and said, "Auntie, your order was and then Moni's birthday should be special." All the guests, all the friends of Moni had come. Moni cut the cake and everyone wished her. Moni walked on the dance floor with Rudra. Everyone was dancing. Suddenly, Moni felt a strain in her body and she felt a strain on her. She fainted. Sapna panicked after seeing her condition, but Rudra asked everyone to remain calm and took Moni in his lap and took her to the room. Pooja and Somya were close to Moni. Rudra said to Sapna, "Auntie, I want to talk to you about something." Both of them went aside and started talking. Listening to what Rudra said to Sapna, the expression of Sapna's face started changing like colors. Sometimes she was surprised, sometimes she was scared, sometimes she breathed a sigh of relief. They talked like this for a while. Here outside, Manju was waiting eagerly. She was sorry that she was sent out and I could not know anything. After about 1 hour, Sapna came out. There was a relief on her face now, yet the danger was not over yet. Manju calls Rudra and Pooja to prepare for Moni's birthday. Today, March 10th in Pune. 5-star hotels. Rudra Sapna looked at Rudra affectionately and said, "Auntie, your order was and then Moni's birthday should be special." All the guests, all the friends of Moni had come. Moni cut the cake and everyone wished her. Moni walked on the dance floor with Rudra. Everyone was dancing. Suddenly, Moni felt a strain in her body and she felt a strain on her. She fainted. Sapna panicked after seeing her condition, but Rudra asked everyone to remain calm and took Moni in his lap and took her to the room. Pooja and Somya were close to Moni. Rudra said to Sapna, "Auntie, I want to talk to you about something." Both of them went aside and started talking. Listening to what Rudra said to Sapna, the expression of Sapna's face started changing like colors. Sometimes she was surprised, sometimes she was scared, sometimes she breathed a sigh of relief. They talked like this for a while. "Mama." Moni called out. Sapna was sitting beside her. Rudra was also sitting near her feet. Sapna saw Rudra had tears in his eyes which he was trying to hide. "What happened to me, Mama?" "Nothing, Lado. You were very tired in the affair of birthday." I look at the guests. You guys take care of it." Saying this, Sapna went to the party hall. "Yes, Shatsadi, you had so much desire that if Rudra picked you up in the dock, she would have said that what was the need to pretend to be unconscious." Saying that, Pooja started laughing mischievously. "Worship," Rudra said a little angrily. "Joke even in this condition? It's too much, man." "Sorry, Rudra." Pooja looked at him angrily and said, "Let's leave Soumya Chakvi alone for a while." Saying this, both of them went out with a wink at Moni. "Oh! Ha! Good heavens!" Moni. Rudra embraced Moni in agony. She also hugged Rudra tightly. Then Moni felt the silver trident hanging around her neck. "What is this, Rudra? And I did not wear this black thread in my hand." "It's nothing, princess. It's your mother's love. There's no harm in wearing it. Wear it to keep her heart." It was 7 o'clock in the morning on March 12th. "All the packing is done, Lado." "Yes, Mama." "Hey, where are you going with these bags?" Moni almost screamed in astonishment when she saw Sapna's belongings. "Yes, I am also walking, and you are not worrying. I am coming with Professor Saxena in his car. There will be no disturbance in your freedom." But behind his smile were fear and uneasiness. Everyone reached Kerthal laughing and having fun. There was an arrangement for all of them to stay in the dak bungalow there. It was evening. The cool, fresh and clean air of the village was making everyone happy. Everyone ate food and started preparing for the fire camp. It was around 10 o'clock in the night. Everyone was sitting in a circle. The professors were busy discussing their research a short distance away. "I don't enjoy playing Antakshari," Atul said. "So what fairy should I call for you?" Naman laughed and said. Rolling his eyes, Atul said, "Yes, and you will be afraid of fairies in your pants." He left the matter unfinished, but everyone understood. Naman did not like his insult and got up and ran away. While running away, he did not think that he had come to the forest adjacent to the dak bungalow. When he thought of it, he saw that there was darkness everywhere. He was hearing frightening sounds from all around. He was about to turn around, and seeing what he saw, the soul of the good ones would tremble. Then it was a poor coward. A terrible black shadow stood in front of him. His two red eyes were shining in the darkness. His hair trembled at his growl, and he screamed and fainted. When he regained consciousness, Professor Saxena and his companions were standing around him. He sat up. Soumya was crying. As soon as she came to her senses, she hugged him as brother. But the voice of Naman was still not coming out due to fear. "You take some rest," Rudra said, and everyone came out, leaving Atul with him. Here, Mangalu Saxena, the caretaker of the dak bungalow, was saying to Sir, "I had said that Saab is a vampire here. That boy must have seen him." "Hey Mangalu, we have also come to know about vampires. Let's get you to eat." "Afternoon." "Rudra, let's go for a little walk." "Yes, and if the kebab doesn't have a bone, then we also come along." Pooja spoke before Rudra. Moni ran after him. "You will never desist from your antics, Pooja's child." And Pooja started teasing him. "Okay, well, let's all go around a bit." After taking permission from Sir, everyone went out. "Be careful, Lado." "Rudra, stay with it." It was the voice of Sapna. "Okay Ani, don't worry," Rudra said. "The greenery of the village, the pure air here, the smell of the soil, everything is so good, isn't it, Rudra?" Rudra. "Where are you lost?" Rudra woke up from sleepiness. "Nothing was lost in your own thoughts." "Oh Rudra, I love you." Moni hugged Rudra when she felt as if someone was behind her. Rudra also realized the same. Both of them were lost in love. They did not know when they had come to the forest. Rudra was a little worried now. He grabbed Moni's hand and started walking fast outside. But a strong storm came and freed Rudra's hand and took Moni aside. In that dense forest, darkness had fallen before evening. Rudra started making sounds. Here Moni was also screaming to save Rudra. Moni saw a fierce-looking creature with big red teeth, red shining eyes and long fingers of his hands with dry eyes. Moni was surprised. This is the one who used to come in my dreams since childhood, used to drink my blood, and I used to wake up in fear. Have Kunheya protect me, she closed her eyes and murmured. I've been waiting for you for 18 years, now you'll be with me. Saying this, the vampire started moving towards Moni, but as soon as he touched her, he screamed and fell away. It was the wonder of that trident given by Chenna Mamai. Take off my child, take her off. See, I am your father. Your mother separated me from you along with her father. I knew that as soon as I was 18, my blood would draw you. Moni was still listening to all the vampire's words and hypnotism. Rudra moved forward, but a strong gust again picked him up and threw him. This time Rudra's head hit the tree and he fainted. Then Somya and Pooja and 2 or 3 students reached there looking for both of them. On seeing them, the vampire started laughing devilishly. His terrible laughter echoed the whole forest. Everyone became frozen with fear. One of the boys, Surab, started running, but before he could run away, he caught him while jumping from one tree to another tree and inserted his fangs into Surab's neck. Surab kept screaming. His pain screams made the whole forest tremble. Seeing the opportunity, Somya and Pooja towards the dak bungalow. Bagi. Panicked, Sir and Sapna informed Saxena. Sir and Sapna ran towards the forest. It was dark at night, but the white light of the full moon from the sky was scattered all around. Seeing the light, Sapna remembered, oh, today is a full moon. She remembered Mai's talk. Moni will come in her vampire form only on the night of Purnima. As soon as she remembered, Sapna shuddered. She spoke in her mind. Oh, Bansi people, please protect my child. Both of them had reached by now. Sapna was shaken by seeing that scene. Avinash, yes, it was Avinash, her husband, who was a vampire whom she had tied up somewhere far away by her father's Guruji. Seeing such a terrible form of her, Sapna was frightened. Blood was dripping from the mouth of that vampire, the fierce red eyes which became even more red with anger after seeing the dream. He started growling loudly. Here Moni had mechanically removed the trident from her neck and thrown it. The consecrated thread tied in her hand was also separated from her wrist. She was moving towards her vampire-like father. No, don't fight. Don't go to him. He is not your father. He is a vampire. But as Moni could not hear anything, she was just moving forward. Then the light of the moon fell on Moni from the empty space of 2 trees, and suddenly her body started to stiffen. Her innocent face was changing. She was now turning into a terrible Pichichini. Her eyes became bloody. Seeing that 2 of his teeth had come out, Sapna fainted. The soul of every person present there was trembling. But 2 people were alert, Professor Saxena and Rudra. Rudra had come to his senses and was just waiting for the opportunity. Moni had now transformed from her mother's innocent lad into a fierce vampire. She was craving blood. And the vampire was still laughing devilishly. Look how many victims there are here, whose blood is to be drunk. Drink, my child. And Moni started moving towards Pooja with a dangerous look. But before she came closer, Rudra took her in his arms and wore a silver trident around her neck. Rudra got a shock, and the next moment Moni was unconscious and swinging in her arms. Laying him on one side, Rudra turned to the vampire. He was screaming loudly, "Boy, I will not leave you alive," and he pounced on Rudra. Before he could do anything, Professor Saxena threw countless silver pellets on the vampire. The vampire screamed and retreated, and Rudra got the chance. He stabbed the silver knife in the neck of the vampire that Rudra's grandfather had given him. As soon as the knife hit, the vampire's body turned into sand and shattered. Now everything was quiet. The whole atmosphere had become lighter. Sapna had come to her senses. Moni was still unconscious. Sapna hugged Rudra and said, "How will I repay this favor of yours?" "No, Auntie, this was destiny for me and Moni. The fate of both of us is connected. Otherwise, why did I also see the dream that Moni was seeing since childhood?" Sapna remembered that Mai had said that the boy who saved her was Rudra, who is the grandson of her father's Guruji. If my innocent Moni had sucked anyone's blood, she would have been a vampire today. Oh, Merle, keep your grace like this. Moni had come to her senses. She looked at Rudra and said, "You did not save me from that vampire. You used to save me in my dreams, but I never saw your face. For the first time I saw you in my dream." Rudra was smiling. He understood that Moni had forgotten everything. "Yes, I was my princess and always will be. Yes, princess, this Prince Rudra will always be there for your protection." Before Rudra could finish, Pooja spoke mischievously and everyone laughed together. "Yes, Lado Rudra will now be with you till birth," Sapna said affectionately, and Moni blushed and hid her face in his lap. Here in the forest, a shepherd was screaming. Saurabh was drinking his blood with his teeth in his neck.